Well, it is that time of the week. It is Wednesday, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. This is Toy Box Chronicles, and we are the America's premier toy podcast. I am your lovely, gorgeous, sexy host, Chet Maddox, along with the thunderous from down under us, Mr. Alexander Storm. How are you doing on this toy evening, sir?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Doing better than the Hasbro marketing team.
Oh, yeah, that is true. Well, hey, you wanted the truth, but we don't think you can handle the truth. But that's what this show is all about tonight. This is all about just, I mean, if you're probably not living under a rock, so it probably doesn't really matter. But yeah, man, it's gonna be good. Hang tight because I want to find out how you've been doing this week. But I think like anything else, let's get into it. So hey, Steve, go ahead, roll it. Remember that in Wayne's World? It's like it's my favorite thing. How you doing, sir? How you doing?
Hey, doing great, man. Looking forward to an into the show. Been on the old Facebook forums today, and there's a lot of Joe fans. A lot of Joe fans that got a little bit of anger in their souls.
I'm sure it's not really a little. I'm sure there's a lot. But yeah, hey, look, we're excited to get into this. Let's take a little gander over at our little chatty and see what's going on over there. We have Edward hanging out. Welcome in, sir. Commander Bly, he is Commander Bly, and he does support the message. Moocher bought Tashi Station Emporium and fired all the employees. According to Moocher here, he just moved them all to the parking lot. So I don't know if that's true or not. But hey, look, we want to thank everyone for coming in. All 110,000 of you watching right now. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow, comment. And for the replay crew, we do want to know what you think. So as we're getting in there, make sure that you're leaving your thoughts because everyone's thought counts. It's just whether or not we listen to them.
Absolutely, Chet. Now, you know what? We're going to do this because we know our buddies over at Sorlac do it, so we're going to try to do that. We'd like to thank every member that has joined the Shadow Army over on the YouTube memberships. So, Edward Stromnowski, thank you, sir. Patty Atkins, thank you very much out there. Commander Bly, always first in everyone's books. And the infinitely wise Darth Moocher. Thank you all for being channel members. Appreciate it so much.
Man, I don't even know where we start, so we're just gonna go into it.
Nope, wrong one.
Yeah, and we're just hold on. Let me.
They had to get on.
It's this one.
Steve's screwing up, bro.
Steve, dude, I'm gonna get rid of that dude so fast. I don't know what's going on with Steve. Yojo June. It is supposed to be the exciting month.
Yes.
For G.I. Joe, for classified, for vintage, for everything and all things G.I. Joe. We've had some bangers in the previous years. It's been fantastic. We've had his tanks and dragonflies and rattlers and figures we didn't think we were going to get, a bunch of card backs. It was so good, in fact. The card backs were so good, in fact, that Darth Moocher decided to offload all of his classifieds to me and keep all the card backs. So I'm a little upset about that. But Yojo June, week number 2, was a interesting change. Well, and then Yojo 3, week 3. I am just not really sure what's happening, but that's what this is for. I want to get into it. So
yeah, well, if you were here last week or anywhere else in the Joe fandom, they decided not to do a live stream, but they did have a live stream listed, and they didn't do that for week 2. Yet they didn't tell us if they were going to put up the any figures or not, and then figures dropped. So we were like, "Uh-oh, what's going on with that?" So from this one, we're running into you know, every possible situation and things that we've got for the second one or week 3. And guess what? They did it today, man. They did it today, and it was already chirping.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, there was absolutely in no way, shape, or form a live stream that was about anything other than Lenny speaking to Josh Williamson, who is the writer of the Energon universe over there at Skybound, and they were talking about a recap of the issues.
Yeah.
I don't know what the logic of this was.
Look, I understand it to a certain point. However, like the hardcore collectors, I don't, you said you mentioned that a lot of the Facebook pages and groups were like blowing up.
Yep.
I don't know what the goal was with this. I don't think this is something that people on the Joe community necessarily wanted. Um, I know they talked a little bit about like, oh, this is what, Cobra gets all their lasers from like Energon and like how did he get it? And they're talking about that lore, but man, I don't know what I watched. I don't know how they went on for that long on a comic, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this would have been interesting enough if they would have maybe had it on just the Hasbro Post Instagram, possibly, or maybe over on Skybound. But
Mm.
to devote that to put it up on the Hasbro Post, like we were all expecting, like maybe some more name reveals or some other situations. Maybe a formal live stream since they missed week 2, and that was not what we got. And while there is a time and place for this seemed like this was like a paid ad for Skybound. And
That's the feeling that I got, and that was a little. It kind of bothered me a little bit. And maybe it was. I don't know, but I will tell you, whatever they're paying them, it's not enough because the camera quality was a little rough.
yeah, yeah. And yeah, and not only rough, this is what I didn't understand is that if you're going to do this and you're going to sit down and speak to somebody, one, it's $1 billion corporation. They could just flown in. They flew Lenny out, flew Josh in, whatever they want to do. Sit down and have a more formal one-to-one. That would have made sense. To run it like their live stream was lagging and everything, and it wasn't synced up. Like you at least could have cut the audio better or something. This was one where it's like it was just perplexing why they did it, and then to kind of like half throw in, oh yeah, we're gonna have a couple of figures or something, and then just to put that up on Instagram or their other socials, like it's Night Force Beachhead, Night Force, which they had said this a while ago that these two characters were popping up. We get a little bit of visuals on them, and look, I think Quick Kick they've done a nicer job with Quick Kick, but this is now our third Beachhead, so. I don't know, man. I'm worried because at the end of the month, I've got a bad feeling for week 4. It's going to be the cram you out of your pocketbook live stream. It's going to be like we're dropping this and that and this and that, and it's like because like either they didn't have anything planned for the entire month, which I don't think you should probably call it Yojo June if you're not going to do entirely June. Maybe Yojo week 1 June, a certain date or something, or do it. Don't give
JoJo
indication
specifics. Yeah.
that we're going to get something the entire month and say live streams all month long. We're going to be doing all this, and then to completely drop this, like it's not a good look. A lot of people are upset with the marketing team. Like, what are you guys doing? Like, week 1, you guys did a great job. Nothing week 2 really, and then week 3 this, and it's like, do you think they overhyped this a little bit?
Um, I do. I don't know. Like the last time I checked, like I don't think that the Energon universe comic is selling very well.
I don't know.
So
No, I think it's selling well. They're doing
is it
it's one of the better showings, the GI Joe and the Transformers books. in the comic book universe right now. So they are selling well. So it's not like they're underperforming. Even they even have a third book with Larry Hama that's outside of the Energon universe, which continues this Real American Hero run that he's been doing since the 80s. And they're doing pretty good numbers. So they're not hurting on that aspect of it.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I don't really. I just don't understand the. I just don't understand the pivot here, and it's like the picture to the right of them with the figures is just kind of I felt like was like an afterthought during
Yeah,
this.
absolutely, absolutely. I think you're right. It's I said this online. It was disappointing. I thought the effort, you know, and
Yeah,
look, they've got to improve. But again, my worry is that week 4 they're going to be dropping everything. Should be thinking no reveals, wallets needs a rest. Yes, but they're going to rest us for 1 week.
yeah.
What's going on, CD Director? What's going on, everyone? From him, hey, what's going on? Nice to have you in, man. And Dr. Brantley.
Dr. Brindley. We got Meeks popping in.
What's going on, Meeks?
We got Mooch warning Steve that he's gonna fire. Yeah, look, yeah, I don't know, man, because like here's the problem is like week number 1 was so good.
Yes.
Like week number 1, I was like, oh, if the rest of this is gonna be like this, fantastic. And I'm just a little bummed out.
And here's the worst thing. If you're gonna do something in this kind of manner, you would kind of like a slow ramp up. Week
Yeah.
one's maybe kind of lackluster. Okay, yeah. Maybe that's the week 1 is you roll with the interview with Josh week 1. And then week 2 is that, hey guys, we're just gonna throw some digital reveals and kind of let it go. Week 3 maybe has a couple of pre-orders. And then week 4, you hit them with the HasLab. If you're gonna do it in that way and build up the slow burn, people are great. But you can't start off on fire and then directly just take a fire hose and put out all the flames.
That wasn't a fire hose. They got the entire fire departments from all neighboring cities to come and put out the flame in the fireplace, dude. It's and like you said, like we only know about the pre-orders because we've been monitoring it.
Yes.
So when they pop up, it's like we're texting each other like, hey, did you get this? Did you get this? Did you get this? And I text Mooch, hey, did you get this? And he's like, I don't buy those. And I was like, all right, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know what to think about this.
They're gonna have to step up that game. And again, you've got all year. It's like last year when they had the May the 4th, and they didn't have a HasLab ready for that actual Star Wars moment. And I'm like, you've got a year to plan on this stuff. You guys have got to hit your marks. You've got to know what you're doing. If you're going to devote a whole month, or just switch it down and say, we're going to do one major live stream the month of June. And that would make sense.
Like right in the middle.
Yeah. Just give you something like, hey, this is where we're going to hit you at. And, it's going to be a mega stream and everything. We'll probably go for 2 hours and release a bunch of stuff.
You could also, you should also, what would also be cool is if they wanted to do like quick releases, they could do like a series called like SOS and just have it like and it pops up and it's like these are all for pre-order and they like go through and they like just show the images with the voiceover with the time and the dates and when they come out and then it's like to see more, tune in on this day for the live stream, and then they just go over all of them on the live stream, and then you have all that, and then the live stream ends with the they end the live stream and then they come in, they give you the teaser and they're like next week on Hasbro Pulse. And it's like the HasLab, and then the HasLab comes out, it's like an SOS. And they do like this weird SOS and it's like emergency. And they start taking over their Instagram and they blur it out and like create this big dysfunctional mess of shit happening on their channel. And then that's the announcement for the HasLab. And then everyone's like stoked because you just took them you just gave them a journey. You gave them an experience, right? Like you gave them, you gave them something to look forward to, and that's all in the Joe universe.
Yeah, I think with I think what's been going on is I think they've actually, it's almost money every time they drop stuff for G.I. Joe. And I think you start taking it for granted. I know that first HasLab, they really put a lot of effort into it. They really wanted to hit. Now they're knowing we got back-to-back HasLabs that we're doing better. It's not like, the Star Wars team where they had a couple of malfunctions and it just didn't actually make them confident for this. Think with GI Joe, they know it's like, man, we can drop a live stream at the end of the month. No one's gonna care. Yeah,
Yeah.
next week expect the HasLab. Yep, absolutely. There's at least the
That's got to be
mention
on
of it.
deck. Yep.
Hmm.
Dr. Brindley's a little upset. You could tell.
Yep.
Start with the best because you know the rest is dog crap. Otherwise, people might give up watching if you started with this.
He's got a
And
point.
it said we should all have to mail away for Little Orphan Annie decoder rings. Yes,
Yeah.
I
Yes.
agree.
Yes.
And then talk about pre-orders. C's director said at least I was able to get Captain America versus Venom
There you
from.
go.
There you go. That's it.
There you go.
That's
There
all
you
that
go.
matters.
Yeah, and you know what? Here's the thing: the Marvel Legends team. You know, we talk about this. Like they started off the year on fire. They're still going and fire.
They are.
You know, so you've got to hold that standard up. And I think with the Joe team, they just know, hey man, it's easy money. We know we're going to make this. And you know, sometimes the effort's not there. It's like, hey, well, we could skip a live stream. You know, what are they going to do? Not buy the toys?
Yeah,
You know,
they're gonna buy them. They're gonna buy
yeah.
them.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I think that kind of hurts them a little bit more, man. But there were things that people were excited about, and a lot of people were running out. And this was one where, you know, here's another online kind of exclusive they had on Hasbro Pulse, but Amazon as well. And here you go, Gigantus. You know, wow.
Gargantos.
Or Gargantos. I'm sorry, Gargantos.
No, it's okay.
And look,
I call them the same thing.
it's interesting when I see these this character I wasn't that familiar with, but I give credit. They made every part of this thing articulated, and it is such an interesting
And the
way of
eyeball
doing a figure.
moves.
Yeah, the eye closes, it shuts. You know, it comes with a spiked version of it. You know, this was a really inventful product. All the I guess the limbs and everything, they all bend and move and everything. This was unique, man. You know, even if you're not a Marvel Legends fan, I think you could actually end up buying this for something else. I know toy photographers are going to do that, right?
Yeah, I mean, I bought it.
Oh yeah, I know a lot of people are.
Yeah, no, like look, this is what I'm talking about. The Marvel Legends team. You know, they came out all cylinders firing, and it was like everything they brought out on the table was like, oh, that's awesome. There's no way they could get better. Oh, I guess they got better. That's awesome. There's no way. This one surprised me, and I'm super excited about this. This was one that, like, honestly, because you know I like bulky action figures. And this was one that's on that level of like, this will be one that people want later on down the line that they can't get. And it'll become, you know, unless of course everyone is just under the assumption that it's going to go straight to Ollie's, which I don't think it is.
I don't think this one is. No.
Yeah, I think this one's doing really well. I haven't checked it yet to find out if it's still up.
Yeah, no, I hadn't checked it earlier, but I haven't heard anybody saying, "Hey, man, I can't get it." A little bit people are upset. Look, I thought it was extremely interesting choice for when you're thinking about this whole gamerverse that they've been doing. First of all, I was kind of really shocked that this is the pivot that they did from last year, because last year they were giving us like a lot of classic comic book Marvel characters, and this year they're giving us like, you know, look, right now we know this is the Marvel versus Capcom kind of look and interesting, but they've done a great job with promoting the characters. Look, they gave us a Wolverine that didn't look like every Wolverine that we have gotten before. They've taken some liberty, so I give them credit on this. So far, every one of them that's went up, whether you want a Captain America and Venom, like you know, see the director ended up picking up. Everyone has been able to pretty much pick this stuff up. So you know, this is not one like, oh man, I can't get it here. You know, oh, this is we'll see if there's a Walmart exclusive for this. Thoughts on McFarlane actually giving us a Ross
we'll get into that.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
Yeah, yeah. There's that's a very point of interest as well. And you know, again, I love all the articulation on this character. Even I love the one with his arms are folded.
Dude, the one where his arms are folded is exactly how mine's gonna sit on the shelf. Like,
it is
that
perfect,
epic.
man.
Yeah.
It is perfect, man. I give credit. And Dr. Brentley just hit us with that the pre-order is still available.
That's
All
good.
right. Thank you, Dr. Brentley. But yeah, no, man, you know, from looking on all the legs extended up to like it's just a very interesting way of doing articulation. They did a great job on this, man. And I'm not a fan of this character, but he's interesting enough to make you want to purchase, man.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yes. Well, we got to go from the highest of highs, lowest of lows to
I
another
want everyone
low.
to I want everyone to focus on this real quick and let us know that you understand what you're looking at,
Yes.
right?
Oh, yes. Well, this is
Just understand what you're looking at here. You're looking at a figure,
yes.
okay?
Mm-hmm.
You're looking at a cute little vehicle, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you've got a total of, let's see, with the character you get you get 4 accessories. That's 2 hands, a head, and whatever the hell that is. And
Mm-hmm.
then on this cute little glider, you get a stand, you get 2 other pieces that no one's going to use, right?
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
just want everyone to focus on this. Mr. Alexander Storm, I have a question for you, sir.
Yes,
How
sir.
much do you think you would be willing to pay for a treasure trove of this? What would you say to our audience right now, since we are live QVC selling this product? How much would anyone pay for something of this magnitude?
I was thinking more of the toy box Price is Right, but okay.
Yeah, it's Toy Box Price is Right. Whatever. We're
I
playing the TBC. It's like the QVC, but Toy Box Chronicles.
in my mind, I couldn't see more than this is probably figure glider, $75 at the most, bro.
That's right. $75 at the most. And we're going to wait for a minute. We want to have everyone's thoughts put in the chat while we talk about this. We want to sell this to you. We want to make sure you got this. We got Meeks in there for $12.99. All right, $12.99 for is that for the combo or for Force? Power of the Force, Howard the Duck. That's I think I got you that figure. $1, Bob. That's right. 101, Bob. 101. So we got Storm in at 75.
Yes.
$75 for Storm. $12.99 on Meeks. We've got $1 Bob from Commander Bly. We got Power of the Force. Howard Duck is what apparently Dr. Brinley would pay for this. I'm going to give you one last chance to guess how much this is. Moocher says it's 49, but it's Super 7, so 89. All right. So
Okay.
we got 79.
Okay.
We got an 89. We've got a Howard the Duck. We got a $12.99. Dr. Brinley says not more than 60. That's right, everybody. All right. Well, I'm going to let all of you know that you're not even close to the price and you're not even halfway there. So for this lovely figure, I just want to position to you all that you could give me a total of $250 for both of these for just a low payment of $250. You yourself could have this hunk of trash in your collection. This is not worth even $150. They want $165 for the Sky Cutter. They want $65 for the figure, and it's like, oh, free shipping to the USA. It should be free shipping everywhere else.
Here's what I will say. That now at least you're looking at $250 for the Sky Cutter and Vulture Man from Super 7. You're looking at just the vehicle from our buddies over at Entertainment Earth for
that is not pre-tariff price, Dr. Brinley. That is just pure unadulterated greed.
Yeah, and it's like, yep. So Super 7 beats Todd at the Ross exclusives. Oh, you know what? I don't know if I've ever seen any of the Thundercat stuff at Ross. I don't think Ross is even
they
for that one.
They don't let it go.
Yeah, I don't think they can. But yeah, man, when I initially saw the price on this, first of all, Vulture Man is $65, and I'm like, I just don't believe that a 6-inch figure, when it's like, look, I could pay that for a 4 Horsemen Mythic Legions character, yeah, that's worth that. But Super 7, no, man. And then the amount of stuff that you gave them for that price, $65 for that, like, wow, man. But the Sky Cutter, this is like a small glider. And you're telling me, Chet, that's $250? Small, well, at least it comes with the character. But that small glider adds up to that. Now, look, $125, I would have been like, oh, okay, I could be kind of good with that. $250? No.
There is not anything in this world that justifies this being $250.
And Dr. Brentley says I predict about 17 units sold.
and the best part is that this is a made to order, so they have it up for pre-order with a clock that counts down from 32 freaking days, right? So you got 32 days, 4 hours, 29 minutes, and 17 seconds left. And it's estimated to ship in March of 2026.
Yeah. And Darth Moose says, another $100 and go get yourself a hot toy.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Or I could spend $250 and get 3 out of the three originals on card for like $250.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is
yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry, you got that. Yeah, buy 27 Super 7 employees.
Now, here's the worst part about that. Remember, a couple of weeks ago, we reported that they were doing massive, layoffs due to the tariffs and everything. They were sending everyone home, right? And they were like, "Hey, man, sorry, we had record numbers early in the year, but guess what? Those record numbers went down, so we're going to let everybody go." And then you start dropping things like this. Again, what do we say? We don't like to bash. But you open yourself up to a whole level of stupid when you do something like this, man. It's
I don't get it. It's just pure unadulterated trash, dude.
Yeah, that's just wild.
But,
yeah, it is.
But also not falling far behind. Do you know what's next? What's not falling far behind?
Oh yeah. I know the dreadedness of this. Looks good, but it costs a bunch of money. Oh, and there you go. Wholesome Warlock. Bamboozled.
Bamboozled. The real American Ghostbusters Ultimate Extreme Turbo Edition.
Yeah. Wow.
I want to put this out there, but welcome to TBC Live. We are taking your request for payments. How much do we think this is, Bob?
Oh my goodness, man! Oh, this.
What is your price guess on this?
This. All right, let's say knowing it's Mondo. Let's say $215.
All right, you got $215. Anyone else in the chat? Anyone else in the chat? Dead man, welcome in. All right, so you're at $215 on this.
Yeah.
If you know the actual price, we're not okay. All right, Meek says Wholesome Warlock says $250 for Warlock. Meeks is at $300 for Meeks. Dead man Juan says $120. Darth Moocher in at $150. Commander Bly says $250. Bob, $250. That is right. All right. Well, hey, look, you guys all got to see this. You guys all see this. I'm going to show you one other picture. You get to see this. now I don't know if you want to change anything. I don't know if you want to change your price here.
No. I'm going to keep it.
Okay, everyone's keeping their price. This is just an up close version.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
What's your real guess?
Knowing Mondo, I got a bad feeling this is probably like $325. No,
for the limited edition, for the time being, you can snag one of these pretty little puppies, these gorgeous little shelf warmers that you can't buy anything else because no one else does anything for Ghostbusters, for just $202.
Oh,
$202. Okay. There you go. You get $202.
Okay.
For some reason. Now, this is why, like, I love Ghostbusters. I don't really buy the toys, but I can appreciate them.
Absolutely.
But what made me appreciate this price more was I would like to point out how much you're getting. So on the left-hand side is what you get for $202.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what you get for $202. Now, just to put that into perspective, you get this for $250. So you can spend $250 and get trash, or you can spend $202 and this isn't trash. These are actually pretty good. I saw Geek Dad Life doing his review on them. They're really well made figures. They're not for me, not at $202.
Yeah,
but I'd rather spend $202 and save like $48 instead of buying this trash.
Yeah, no, this was, come on, man. It's a night and day. Yeah,
like
you're
this,
right.
This has to be a joke for Super 7. I have no idea where they're getting off doing $250. Like, this is something that blows my mind beyond belief.
If it was a joke, they would actually have it crossed out $250 and put the price on. If it was a joke, they're dead serious. And you know, that's the shame. And like we were talking about this over Action Figure Frequencies over on Bandito Radio 112 FM. If you guys have checked that out, make sure you guys just like and subscribing over there. But are they just trying to overfish the pool, man? It's like, you know, you got a nice lake, right? And everybody's throwing in, like, you know, and they're grabbing fish out, and then after a while, there's no stock in that lake, and that lake's dried up. I really think that they're overfishing because these aren't made for kids. They're overfishing the adult audience. And you know, again, when you do something too much, you end up bursting whatever bubble you have. It's kind of like, you know, remember in comics when they had the spectator market? They destroyed that industry.
Yeah, they ruined that.
If these toy companies don't start using a little bit more common sense, they're going to do the same thing because, wow, man, you know, when I saw this guy, I said, have they lost their minds?
Yeah, they
like,
have.
You know, there's no clue for this, bro.
Yeah, they have, man. Like, yeah, Dr. Britt, 250 for a Dollar Tree figure or go 202 for Ghostbusters. That's pretty much it. It was fun, Super 7. It was fun.
Like, yep, exactly. Yeah,
they're dead serious, and they're also actually dead. Yeah, that's. I mean, they're gonna be at this rate.
It was no April Fool's Day, but Super 7 is always late.
The only thing I want to go back to Seize the Director, by the way.
Yeah.
This is right in line with all the shit about like the Ross exclusive from McFarlane.
Oh yeah. Let me scroll up and get that one from him. Let's see where we're at. Actually, I should have probably highlighted it, shouldn't I?
I got him.
Okay, got it. Okay, there you
go. Yeah.
So
you want to know our thoughts on McFarlane actually giving us a Ross exclusive? Here's the funny thing: is I thought all of his figures were Ross exclusives.
God. Well, Uncle Todd's gonna make sure you set our cards on fire. Like here's the thing. We've said this, and we just discussed this, and we were going over this. I don't understand why you would devalue yourselves. You know,
you know,
yeah. Like I understand. Like, look, right now there's a crap load. If you're going over to Target, you can see a crap load of McFarlane Superman stuff right next to Spin Master too, which is really a kind of screwed.
But I also want to add some color to this part of what you're talking about.
Yes.
Because when you look at the McFarlane and the Spin Master, it's really good when Spin Master sells out and McFarlane shit doesn't sell out.
Yeah. But the problem of it is that the same time you have McFarlane on the shelf and his Superman line for a movie that's coming out in a couple of weeks, and then you've got Spin Master on the same shelf. It's the same way you see TMNT. It's like, which version of the Turtles do you love? You know, you want to get this one from Super 7 or do you want to get this one from this other company? So I think that makes it rough. But when you say to yourself, first of all, you remove yourself from the standard toy aisle, which I think McFarlane, it's going to do himself a disservice to move from the toy aisle in Walmart to the collector's areas, which is most of them are behind glass or really in the area where you don't think toys would be. And then you say, hey, the same Superman that you can pay, let's say, what is it? Let's say $24.99 or is it $30?
So some of the Supermans are 23 up to like 20. I mean, they go up to like, I think 27, 28.
Okay, so right around that price.
The battle damage Superman is $23, something like that.
But we're going to make a version of Superman that's not going to have any extra hands. He's going to be on a blister card back. And we're going to put it in Ross. Well, the first thing that you do is, like, when we go to Ross for like $5 and $6 figures. We're not going to Ross for $15, $20 figures. There's no
point.
Yeah, but you're saying I'm going to make this. I'm going to put it in a place where we joke. You know, people are like absolutely happy. They're jumping up for joy when they see those Ollie videos or they see those Ross videos or Burlington Coat Factories or wherever you're getting them. And it's a joke in the industry. It's not something where you say, yeah, like I don't think Lowell Subjects is saying, hey, the best line is sitting over at Ross. They don't.
Yeah, go get your best action TMNT figures from Ross for $7.
Yeah, they don't do that. But for McFarlane to say, No, I'm specifically making my stuff for Ross. I know most of my stuff ends up here anyways.
But
So
I'm gonna give you one you can hang on
I'm
those
gonna I'm
pegs
gonna
that don't
break
exist.
I'm gonna break you. You don't have to worry. I'm gonna make one right here, right for you. And I'm like, look, now in some ways, look, if he's doing it for underprivileged people out there to purchase a interesting figure, Mr. McFarlane, you didn't have to
They
because a
already
lot
do.
of your stuff is already there. We all
Yeah.
know this Superman stuff's
My
ending up there.
my favorite part about the Ross exclusive is number one, it's card back. And number
Yeah.
two, it's got like a peg hole, like they can put that shit on pegs. He's never been to a Ross because all that shit ends up on a shelf next to the like dog food. And then you just rummage through it. And the ones that do have shelves, if I just went to Ross and they've raised the prices because they know resellers and scalpers go there. Yeah. So like, dude, here's this is the problem is like there's no one's gonna buy that. I mean, they're gonna
No,
wait. They're
no.
gonna wait till it goes to Burlington Coat Factory for $5 more, for five
Well,
dollars off.
here's the thing. What happens if it doesn't sell at Ross?
It's not
And
going to.
you put yourself into a point now where it's like, wow, you're in a discount, Ross for less, dress for less, and you can't sell it out of there when you were having a hard time selling it in Target now and dropping it there. Look, I understand Ross probably paid some form of exclusive money, and that's great and everything. I see director said, I just went to Ross and they raised the prices because they know resellers and sculptors are going there. We're starting to run into that little thing right there. All right, we're starting to see that. And next stop Ollie's. Got a point about that. Dr. Brentley said they're saving money by not having to ship to the discount figures to Ross stores. They're already there. Yeah. I think again, I would not devalue my company. You don't see like Calvin Klein, like, hey, you know what? We're gonna go directly to Ross. Like they don't do that kind of stuff. It's like that's the last resort in this industry. And I don't know what he's doing. This seems to me, Mr. Maddox, like it's a panic thing. Like it's like we gotta get
I
our stuff out into more stores. How do we get in more stores? Because we lost a major license. This does not seem like a logical decision now.
I think it's what he's doing because all the GameStops are closing out here.
Maybe so. Maybe so. But also at GameStops, they weren't selling them for discount. Look, every time I went to GameStop, it was at full retail or a little bit more. Very rare I could go in there and see it at a discount point. But you're saying like, and then the card back it too. I'm like, wow, bro. Like again,
Well,
the numbers, you know.
what I am excited about is one of our newer segments on this show because we have decided that with all of the dumpster fires that happen in the action figure world,
Yes, sir.
we prefer a little bit more of the high end toys. If you've seen in the background, I have an original Street Fighter cab. We got some more in other parts of my house. But let's jump in to one of our newer segments. High end toys.
There you go. We got them, and guess what? You've seen it before. If you watched any of the or some of our shorter videos on it, you saw the first one was a Stern pinball machine that was King Kong, and it was
Mm-hmm.
a great machine, bro. I got
It
to
was
give credit on that.
fantastic. We've
It's
played
pretty
it.
up
It
there.
was great.
Yeah,
It's great.
and to say like, all right, how do we top notch that? Well, we haven't played it, but we will. And right now, we are looking at dropping today. The hunt begins June 18th. Predator from the Pinball Brothers is actually up for sale today. Uh-oh. And let me tell you something. This game has it trucked open with everything that you need. If you watch the film and you know that 37 years ago, I think on the 14th, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah.
it
14.
it hit theaters with Arnold Schwarzenegger and all the classic rhymes. Well, one of my favorite ones is "Stick Around." Let me tell you something. This Pinball Brothers game, Predator, is gonna stick around. Let's get into some of the features and everything of this game. First of all, look, pricing wise, you're looking at let's count it as $11,000, but we'll put
Yeah.
$10,995 US. But it says the Predator icon cuts out stealth black jungle warfare trims, the exclusive Predator poster, which looks pretty nice on the side of the units and everything. It has a limited Predator merch package, Jungle Service Kit. Now, for an extra $1,400, you can get the trophy package, which is actually a pretty funny name for calling it a package. It actually works for this. This is the Predator pinball machine on steroids, featured in the military green awesome camel box, which that's really cool. The trophy package includes the Predator icon cutout of Starly Green jungle warfare trims, a stacker motor. It has the Invisiglass, the back box jungle mission lighting,
Yeah,
and
it's so
limited game
awesome.
exclusive Predator poster that comes with this. Also, some other Predator packaging. And I love this part. Welcome to the Jungle Soldier. And this is by Pinball Brothers. And they are, if it's Stern, if you're out there, these guys are trying to double up on this, man. Because wow. When you look now, we're actually going to look at the actual game board play. And when you look at this, there's the jungle environment, all kind of great things and features from the game. I love the colors. I think it matches this extremely well. I like
Yeah, it's
this shade of
fantastic.
yellows. And if we look a little closer in the game now, like I said, the mission essentials packed with original movie scenes and clips. So if you don't know, there's an actual backdrop to it that they actually have a little screen on it. A lot of times with Stern and also these other newer games, they actually drop little lines on the film. They have Alan Silvestri powered original soundtrack, so they paid for that. Gather your team and face off against one of cinema's most iconic hunters. Tense missions, modes, and battles based on the original movie. Surviving the jungle camp attack. They got the unload of the painless. I can't remember is minigun. All right, like again, my eyes are going bad here, and a couple other fast-paced control systems, full of military grit and alien horror. Now, when we said we're going to look into a little bit more on the detailed parts of this game, where like you're looking right
This
at
is
there's that monitor in the back that this looks pretty, man. Look at the
yeah.
top of that, man. Wow. Like I said, when you're looking at that's exactly that looks beautiful. You're right, man. And Commander Blythe throws this up. Oh man, you just reminded me how much the animated Predator show visibly to stick the landing.
Yeah, they
And
did.
some more
Ping
like
pong, ping pong, ping pong, ping pong, ping pong. Very good. That's what it means. We got Rad in here too. There's something
there.
out there waiting for us, and it ain't no man.
No, it's a machine.
You're not scared.
But like again, like they've captured a lot of the effects, the lighting, the jungle. Look, to put this all into a pinball game, just to base it on this small little area with all the workables, this is what makes this kind of like, these are works of art. These are not just machines that they just slowly put anything through. It's not a couple of just like, shifters and a couple other things, a ball rolling. They actually have like action features and elements of the movie that make you really think. When you, first of all, look at the coloring right here. You know, they they are in every possible way. There's the little the armband for the Predator with the explosive pack where he counts down and everything,
Yep.
you know. Just the little elements like this. There you go, seeing the Predator actually there, and that looks pretty good in the background, bro. I thought King Kong looked great in the Stern game. This looks even better, man. And we'll throw
I'm sure, by the way, Rad, I'm sure that's in there. That's gotta
yeah.
be in
Oh
there.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. He better. And then you get two different versions of looking at the Predator. One when the lights are fully articulated, and then actually one without the lights on. So you can see that whole neon green that the movie's so beautifully based around is actually put into this. So again, man, we're looking at features and things on this game, and then of course, what's the famous line, Mr. Maddox? What's that famous line? Get to the
Get
chopper.
to the chopper.
They've got a little chopper represented here as well. And let's see what Rad says. Yep. Just breathe it. Just hit the wrong one. Then here's now this little touch right here nailed me, man. This one right here. I said they took the time to take the truck that Arnold lifts off and rolls down the hill, but they have it where it's crashing through the building. Because if you look, there's blinds and everything else. It's going like so. It's like this little detail, and it's lit up like this again. I, you know, I don't know what the thought process goes into when you're making something like this. I don't know if they have a laundry list of things that they want to go through and do. We are actively trying to get either somebody from Stern or the Pinball Brothers in to pop in and just at one point just discuss the thinking and the planning that goes through this because this is not just a game, bruh. This is something that it lives its life on its own. You can see all touches of the movie here. And Commander Bly put up, it says, if these pinball games keep advancing, they could probably be played on a TV with a controller. Yeah. Yeah, call it video game. Yep, you never know.
This is so awesome.
Yeah, you just look at these things. Now, also, if you don't know, while we were doing a little research on this, they actually have an actual Aliens game that they did that
And
is equally as fantastic.
I watched so much video on people playing that Aliens one, and I was like,
Yeah.
this is intense.
Yeah, it's all right here, man. You're looking at again all these nice little features. The alien's claw, right there. Just this kind of stuff, and it's amazing to me. You got this like 3D sight, the little three beams that's so famously on any skull or any other situation that goes on. The only thing I was a little disappointed about, I didn't see at least Carl Weathers' hand like detached on the ground. I would have thought they would have went that way or something you know. But yeah, so the trophy package, like we were saying before, this is an actual add-on from it. And if you look right there, there's the ammo box that the trophy package actually comes with. And so that adds a little extra feature onto your game. It's one of those things that, have it underneath the game system on the side and people come over and talk about it. But when they look at the sides of this machine, they see the classic lettering. John Materin would be happy that he directed this movie and they made this video game. I'm pretty sure he wished they didn't take that long to get this game out over these years. So, like I said, let's just say, bro, we got, let's say, what about 13,000? We don't know what shipping's going to cost on this and everything.
They don't ship it. They tell you where to go pick it up on distributors.
Oh, okay, great. That makes
it so better. if you guys are interested in buying it, you go to their website. Specifically, you go to this site right here. I'll put it in the comments so people can buy it.
Okay.
You go there, and then you find your distributor. We got one in San Diego. If you're in California, you got another one. I mean, San Diego is really one of the only places in California.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, like I think these are awesome. Yeah, the alien ones is awesome. American Ninja 3 pinball. Chuck Norris is like the end of it.
If you pay for that on Kickstarter, you're not getting it, brother.
Yeah, don't pay for that pinball on Kickstarter at all. Bye. There have been more than a few Predator pinball games out there. Yeah, there have been, but this one is like, I think this one kind of like takes the gold for me.
And again, yeah, we put that in the chat. But like I said, again, man, you got an extra 14K sitting around and everything. Is this a definite purchase in the house, brother?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And I'm with Commander Bly. There is no limit, so you let me know how many you get, and I'll get one more.
He would say absolutely not. But yeah, no, man, I think this is one of those. I think Stern has built a name for themselves, and they're what the industry looks at. And you're starting to see some of these smaller companies come in and actually put some work in themselves. I love the way that they're grabbing certain licensing as well, because Stern has the Jaws and Matrix, and we've seen King Kong, Godzilla. We've seen those games. The Predator one, when I saw that pop up, I was like, wait a minute, this piqued my interest. And just to see some of the artwork and the lights and the coloring on this was like, wow, man. They captured every part. In fact, watching this as we were going to do it, I went back and watched the film again, just because I'm like, you know what, that was a great film. It's a great pinball machine made. I think they've done a great job. I think this is one of the better ways to celebrate an anniversary of this being in the theaters during the summer. And again, Great job, Pinball Brothers. And hey, like I said, we've reached out to them, so hopefully at one point we can get them on and they can talk about what goes through their minds when they're making something like that. Because I'm sure that's a whole different creative process when you have to put something in such a, it looks like a large area, but not for all the stuff these guys are doing, man.
Yeah.
You know. So, other than that, that was our high-end toys. So if you guys are more interested on that, we'll put this up on the SKN network and you can actually watch it again. And we're starting to put a little bit more. I heard there's a Dune machine that's getting ready to come out from yet another company. So keep your eyes on that because we're gonna start seeing in that. And then also, like I said, we go to certain shows and everything that have some of these games at, we may actually put some gameplay up as well, right, Mr. Maddox?
Yeah, I think that's the goal. I think we're gonna go try to figure out where we can see this one in action and play it.
Yep, yep, yep. So always love these little parts of high-end toys because hey, what's toys to us might not be toys to somebody else. So,
Yeah.
you gotta roll that through. But hey, got a couple of key things that's going on this week, man. This is the even though week 3 of the Yojo June didn't go as much as we thought it was gonna go, you can get your Joe on in Augusta, Georgia at Joe Fest this weekend, man. You know?
Yeah, I
Like I
think
said, you've been to
it's gonna
Joe
be.
Fest, right?
Yeah, I was at Joe Fest last year. Wanted to go this year, didn't work out. Joe Fest is one of the better shows, man. If you've never been, you should go. And Deadly Diorama is going to be there with the Bandito. Uru Toys will be there with the Night Wolf. It's gonna be a good show. Purple Gang is going to be there.
There you
I
go.
think if I read correctly, they're live streaming Saturday.
Yeah, and they'll also have on
Live
Bandito
from it's
Radio on
Yep,
Friday, they've got a Joe Fest featured episode that we'll be dropping on Bandito Radio on
yep.
Friday. So you can hear that
And
block.
a birdie told me too that there may be something purple looking at the Bandito in the near future. So
Wow. Okay.
yeah, I don't know.
All right.
I don't want to say much, but I think everything was confirmed and something purple might be taking a look at that Bandito.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, man, it's a fantastic show. There's a lot. It's very community driven. There's a lot of
Mhm.
really cool things happening there. I think everyone needs to go to it at least once if you can because I had a great time.
Yeah.
Ace will be there from Ramen Toys, like
Mhm.
Guru, Delta 17.
Have you,
Uh,
uh,
for the most part, Grindhouse Toys, which is
yep.
90% funded right now on Kickstarter.
Mm,
Chris Scott owning it. If you
there you
didn't see it,
go.
he was on Toy Merch earlier.
Yep.
Got into some really cool information on there. So yeah,
Yeah, look, there's a lot of great things out this summer. Just because Yojo week 3 wasn't that great. Hey, man, go over to Grindhouse, go over to Kickstarter, see the Grindhouse toys, World War Hell. If you want to get inspired by the thing that actually we got inspired to get in, and the reason why everything's 6 inch now is from the 3 3/4 inch. And they are great looking figures. See, we actually had him on 2 shows. He was on Toy Box Chronicles a couple of weeks ago, and he was also on Pixel Plastic Inc. just this last week. So, Replay Crew, if you didn't hear it, pop in over there and actually going to want to support this because he's got a different way of thinking of things, man. It's fun. That's what I like about independent toys. It's fun.
yeah. I
So
just put the
yeah,
link to the Grindhouse Kickstarter. Make sure you guys click on it. If anything, just log in, give him like $1 if you don't want to do it. It's just something to support him with. It's pretty awesome.
yeah, yeah. Well, we want to keep things like this keep happening because that's where you're getting your true creativity from is the independent space. They're
Yep.
they're coming up with brand new IPs. They're putting themselves on the line, and it's tough when you don't have 30 to 40 years of branding power behind you. So
Yep.
you really put yourself out there like that. Bravo, man. We were totally excited when we saw these because you actually introduced me to them
I did.
when you brought the necromancer and I was like, well, what the hell is this? Its packaging's ingenious. Everything about it just screams out original, you
Yep.
know?
We have a new sponsor we announced on Action Figure Frequency, Toy Hunter, which is literally the social media platform for anybody that does toy collecting. It is coming out. They're saying that it's slated for September,
Oh,
but if you want to get out there, get notified for it. I know that they're working on updating some of the more like graphics and stuff. You can sign up here to be notified. But it's you can manage your collection, trade with people. You have social media in there, so you can do badges and rankings, and there's stories, and you can do your friends can see your collections and issue trades. I mean, there's a ton of stuff that's happening on this, and it's meant for collectors. It's by collectors. You can search eBay sold items from in there. You can search at the same time. You can search eBay active listings. So if you're out there at a flea market and you want to check your collection, you can check your collection. If you don't have it, you can search it. You find it. Someone says it's 150. You can search eBay sold and be like, nope, it's too much. This is what the average price is. I mean, they're literally taking away the idea of being able to like swindle money out of people that don't know, but then also make sure that you get the right amount of value if you're trying to sell. So really excited about this. Sign up. It's a little bit of the ways out. They're testing. They're also going through all the subscribers and finding early testers through people that sign up. So make sure you sign up to get notified on that. But yeah, I mean, that's, we got outside of us, you want to hang tight. I mean, we got the Sarlacc Digest, the best damn Star Wars podcast ever. Right? I mean, you got anything?
Oh man, everything else is out there. Like, look, just don't be too mad at the guys. Next week they'll be back and everything. They'll be dropping a whole bunch of stuff on the Hasbro Pulse thing. So let's, have one bad week. We can let them have it. But here's the thing about that Toy Hunter app and everything else of that. I know there's a nifty little line they say about because it's spelled TOYHUNTR, right? And why did they leave the E out of that, brother?
They trim the fat like they trim the BS, brother.
Always right. Again, their marketing department, I give them credit. When we saw that line come on, I was like, that is so good. But yeah, it's going to revolutionize the industry. But you know what's going to revolutionize things? Spaceball 2. Oh, and guess what? The Sarlacc guys say that is Star Wars. So they're talking about that tonight. You can catch Darth Moocher, Grand Admiral Fretz, Scott Solo, Bootleg Joe, and of course the Fallen Fett. The whole team's back, and hey, they do it like we like to say. Nobody does it better than us, but they do a pretty damn good job. Also, make sure you're catching the toy mercs that are above us and everything, because they're putting in the time. They actually took the slime slot beginning part. That's always the toughest slot. We're in the middle, and you got the guy that begins and the guy that ends. That's the toughest spot in the situations of the night. And join us on Friday, Pixel Plastic and Ink. We'll probably be talking about some Joe Fest stuff and see if we can have some guests or some people pop in. We'll see what we can do. That's at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Friday night. Myself, Rad, Mr. Maddox, Dr. Brentley, and myself will be over there talking about all things in the world of pop culture, man. And, hit them with the famous ending lines, my friend.
That's right, everybody. Thank you so much for coming in. And we want to remind you to like, subscribe, thumbs up, replay crew. We appreciate you. And like always, keep chasing those plastic dragons and keep it away from your significant other, because I nor SKN or affiliates are responsible for the divorces and separations that happen because you chose plastic over your lovers. So until next time, I don't know, do something, but we'll see you guys on Friday, because if you don't come on Friday, you really don't like us. So there's